She drove through the night with a secret too heavy to carry, a body in her trunk, a knife in her past, and 300 miles of Texas highway between her and freedom. What would you do to cover your tracks? Picture July 2024. The kind of Texas night where the heat chokes you and the stars hide like they know what's coming. The Starlight Motel, a crumbling dive 20 miles outside Lubbock, squats under a flickering neon sign, its red glow bleeding across the gravel lot like a fresh wound. The air smells of dust and regret, the kind of place where nobody asks questions and everybody's running from something. Inside room 12, Amanda Brooks, a 34-year-old waitress with a smile that masks a lifetime of hurt, paces by the window, her fingers clawing at the frayed blinds. Her blonde hair is a tangled mess, her diner uniform swapped for a faded tank top and jeans, stained with the weight of a long day. Across the room, 10 feet away, on a sagging bed with a stained floral spread, Tyler Reed, her 36-year-old mechanic boyfriend, slouches, a whiskey bottle dangling from his calloused hand. His rugged charm, crooked grin, broad shoulders, is fading under a temper that burns hotter with every drink. They've been holed up here 2 days, duffel bags tossed by the door 5 feet away. But this isn't a lover's retreat. It's a powder keg ready to blow. At 9:45 p.m., the tension snaps. "You're a damn liar, Amanda," Tyler slurs, slamming the bottle on the nightstand, the glass clinking against a chipped ashtray. "Who's the guy you're sneaking around with?" Amanda spins from the window, her face flushed, eyes blazing like wildfires. "You're drunk and full of it. Again," she fires back, stepping closer, her sneakers scuffing the grimy carpet. "Wanna talk secrets? Who's Lisa, Tyler? Don't play me for a fool." The name hits like a sledgehammer. Lisa, a 28-year-old bartender at a dive bar 5 miles from Lubbock, has been Tyler's dirty little secret for months. Amanda found the texts a week ago. Flirty promises, plans to ditch her for a new life in Dallas, 350 miles away. The betrayal stings like salt in a wound. Maria, the 50-year-old motel clerk with a voice like gravel, catches every word from the office 30 feet down the hall, her radio's country twang no match for the shouting. She's heard fights in her 15 years at the Starlight, but this one's different. Raw, vicious, teetering on the edge of something irreversible. By 10:15 p.m., the fight explodes. Tyler lurches to his feet, 6 feet of muscle and rage, his whiskey breath hot as he jabs a finger at her. "You don't get to question me," he roars, knocking a cheap ceramic lamp off the nightstand 5 feet from the bed. It shatters, shards glittering under the dim bulb. Amanda's voice rises, sharp and desperate. "I saw the texts, Tyler. Dallas? You're leaving me for her?" Maria flinches at the crash but stays put, chalking it up to another motel meltdown. At 10:30 p.m., the shouting stops, replaced by a silence so heavy it feels like the walls are closing in. Amanda's hands tremble, her mind a storm of rage and panic. On the floor, Tyler lies still, a 6-inch kitchen knife from the motel's counter buried in his chest, blood pooling around him like a dark mirror. She didn't mean to kill him, or so she tells herself. The fight had spiraled. Tyler's accusations about her friend Jake Miller, a co-worker at his auto shop 4 miles from Lubbock, her fury over his affair with Lisa. The moment she grabbed the knife to scare him, not to kill, but he lunged, and the blade found his heart. Amanda drops to her knees, the knife clattering to the carpet 2 feet away. "Tyler?" she whispers, her voice cracking, but his eyes are fixed, lifeless, staring at the water-stained ceiling. Panic surges like a wildfire. She scrambles to her feet, heart hammering, and bolts to the storage closet 15 feet down the hall, grabbing a grimy tarp that smells of mildew. Back in room 12, she wraps Tyler's body, all 180 pounds of him, the tarp crinkling as blood seeps through, staining her hands. Dragging him 20 feet to her 2005 Ford sedan in the lot is a nightmare. Her arms ache, her breath comes in ragged gasps, the gravel crunching under her sneakers like a warning. She heaves him into the trunk, the lid slamming shut with a thud that echoes in the still night. At midnight, she's behind the wheel, tires screeching as she peels out, heading west on Highway 84 toward a ravine near El Paso, 300 miles away, where she hopes the desert will bury her sin. She's 200 miles in, pushing 85 mi through the endless Texas night, the highway a black ribbon slicing through cotton fields and scrub. Her mind replays the fight, the knife, the blood, her hands shaking so hard she nearly swerves off the road. Red and blue lights flare in her rearview mirror near Odessa, 100 miles from her destination. Officer Daniel Cruz, a 42-year-old highway cop with 12 years on the beat, flags her for a busted taillight. His flashlight sweeps the car, catching her trembling hands, the sweat beading on her forehead, and a crimson smear on the back seat, no bigger than a dime. Visiting my sister in El Paso, Amanda stammers, her voice thin as paper. Cruz's gut screams trouble. He asks to check the trunk, and when the lid pops open, Tyler's body stares back, bruised and bloodied, lit by the harsh beam of the flashlight. This isn't a traffic stop, it's the end of Amanda's run. What happened in that motel room to push her to this? Stick with us, because this Texas nightmare's about to twist hard. Would you drive 300 miles with a secret like that, or spill it all? Hit the comments. Let's dig into this mess together. Amanda and Tyler were a storm waiting to break. Back in Lubbock, 10 miles from the motel, their apartment complex was infamous for their late-night shouting matches. Amanda, all charm at the diner 5 miles away, brushed it off with a laugh. Tyler's just passionate. But passion had turned poison months ago. Maria, the clerk, saw Amanda's sedan tear out at midnight, headed for that ravine to bury the evidence. Cruz's stop on Highway 20 flipped everything. At the Odessa police station, 3 miles from the stop, Detective Carla Vega, 5'6", sharp as a tack, with a decade of cracking cases, takes over. "Walk me through it," she says, eyeing Amanda's shredded tissue. "It was an accident," Amanda chokes out. "He came at me, drunk, yelling about some guy." The stab wound's too clean though, and Tyler's knuckles are scuffed, like he fought back. Suspicion falls on Jake Miller, Tyler's co-worker at the auto shop, a rough-edged 38-year-old who'd argued with him over a $500 debt at a bar 2 miles from the motel days earlier. Was Jake in on it? A clue 50 miles away in a gas station dumpster is about to turn this case upside down. What's your guess? Self-defense or cold blood? Drop it in the comments because part 2's coming in hot. The Starlight Motel's Room 12 is a crime scene straight out of a nightmare when Vega's team rolls in at dawn, the sun barely breaking over the Texas horizon. The carpet, a faded relic of the 70s, is soaked with blood near the bed, glowing crimson under UV lights. A shattered lamp lies in pieces 5 feet away, its cord tangled like a noose. Forensic techs in white hazmat suits swarm the 10 by 12 foot space, bagging a 6-inch kitchen knife from the sink, its blade crusted with Tyler's blood, confirmed by a quick DNA swab. This wasn't a panicked jab, it was a battlefield. Detective Vega, working out of the Lubbock precinct 3 miles from the motel, pieces together Amanda's story. She claims the fight kicked off at 9:45 p.m. Tyler, 3 whiskeys deep, accusing her of sneaking around with Jake Miller, his co-worker at his auto shop 4 miles from Lubbock. "He swung at me," she says, her voice steady, but her eyes darting like a cornered animal. "I grabbed the knife to scare him off. 1 stab, and he dropped." Panicked, she snatched a tarp from the motel's storage closet 15 feet down the hall, wrapped his 180-pound body, and dragged it 20 feet to her sedan in the lot, her arms burning with the effort. Her plan was to drive 300 miles to a ravine near El Paso and let the desert erase her mistake. She made it 200 miles before Officer Cruz's flashlight caught the bloodstain on her back seat and the stench seeping from her trunk on Highway 20. Vega's not buying the self-defense story. The stab wound, 4 inches deep, straight to the heart, looks deliberate, and Tyler's hands bear defensive scratches like he fought for his life. Amanda's too calm reciting the fight, but she flinches when Vega mentions her phone, seized from the car. It shows texts at 11 p.m. from the motel to an unknown number. "It's over. I'm out." Who was she texting? And why not call 911? Suspicion shifts to Jake Miller. Jake, 38, with a leather jacket and a quick temper, admitted to a shouting match with Tyler at a bar 2 miles from the motel days earlier over a $500 loan Tyler never repaid. Witnesses saw Jake's rusted Ford truck parked 100 feet from the motel at 9 p.m. that night, and his phone records show a 10-minute call to Amanda at 8 p.m., hours before the murder. Was he there when it went down? Vegas team raids Amanda's apartment 10 miles from the motel and finds a journal tucked under her mattress. The pages are a raw outpouring of pain. Tyler's changed, angry, always gone, I'm trapped. One entry, dated a week before, chills Vegas' blood. Jake knows about Tyler's other woman. He says he can help, but at what cost? What was Jake's role? Did he know about Lisa, the bartender, and was he plotting with Amanda? Maria, the motel clerk, adds fuel to the fire. She swears she saw a man matching Jake's description. 6 feet tall, leather jacket, lurking near the dumpster, 10 feet from the motel lot at 10 p.m., flicking a cigarette into the gravel. He looked antsy, she tells Vega, her voice rough from years of smoking. Tyler's phone, found wrapped in the tarp with his body, has a deleted voicemail from Amanda at 10:30 p.m. I'm sorry, Tyler. I didn't mean it. The words sound like regret, but for what? Vega's team digs deeper, pulling Amanda's bank records, a $1,000 cash withdrawal labeled car repair. But her sedan's a junker, no repairs done. Was it a payoff to Jake? The investigation widens, and Vega orders a search of the ravine near El Paso, 150 miles from the Odessa stop, where Amanda was headed. But it's a clue found 50 miles away, in a gas station dumpster off Highway 20, that's about to flip this case on its head. Who's pulling the strings here? Amanda, Jake, or someone else entirely? This Texas tale's heating up. Drop your theory in the comments because part 3 is about to blow the lid off. The desert ravine near El Paso, 300 miles from Lubbock, is a sun-scorched graveyard of cracked earth and thorny scrub, the kind of place where secrets vanish under the relentless Texas sun. Amanda planned to dump Tyler's body there, letting the desert swallow her crime, but she never made it. 50 miles from the ravine, at a gas station 20 feet off Highway 20, Highway Patrol finds a discarded duffel bag in a dumpster. Inside, a blood-soaked shirt matching Tyler's size, a roll of duct tape, and a receipt from a gas station 10 miles from the Starlight Motel, time-stamped 9 p.m. the night of the murder. The evidence screams premeditation, and it's tightening the noose around Amanda's neck. Back at the Odessa police station, 3 miles from Cruz's highway stop, Detective Vega lays out the case like a poker hand. The knife, the blood spatter, the voicemail, the duffel. Amanda sits across from her, pale and trembling, her hands shredding a tissue into confetti. "No more lies, Amanda," Vega says, her voice sharp as the knife in evidence. Amanda breaks, tears streaming down her face. "He was leaving me," she sobs, "for her." The truth spills out like blood from a wound. Tyler had been cheating with Lisa, a bartender at a dive bar 5 miles from Lubbock. Amanda found texts on his phone a week earlier. Tyler and Lisa planning a new life in Dallas, 350 miles away, leaving Amanda in the dust of their crumbling Lubbock apartment. That night in room 12, she confronted him, her voice shaking with betrayal. "You're done with me?" she screamed, grabbing the knife from the counter. Tyler, drunk and enraged, lunged at her, and in a flash of rage and fear, she stabbed him. Once, deep, straight through the heart. He collapsed, blood pooling on the carpet, and Amanda's world shattered. Panicked, she wrapped his body in a tarp, dragged it to her car, and drove 200 miles toward the ravine, thinking the desert would hide her crime. The 11 p.m. text, "It's over, I'm out," went to her sister Emily in El Paso, 300 miles away, not Jake. Amanda had confided in Emily about Tyler's affair days earlier, and Emily's response was clear. "You're enough, Amanda. Leave him." The text was Amanda's way of saying she'd ended things, not admitting murder. Jake Miller, the co-worker, was a red herring. His argument with Tyler was about the $500 loan, and his truck near the motel was a coincidence. He was grabbing a burger at a diner 1 mile away, confirmed by a waitress. Lisa, questioned at her bar 5 miles from the motel, admitted the affair, stunned by the fallout. She and Tyler had been dreaming of Dallas, oblivious to Amanda's rage. The Journal's mention of Jake was Amanda's attempt to deflect blame, hoping his temper would make him a suspect. The $1,000 withdrawal? A new set of tires, not a payoff, confirmed by a receipt found in her apartment. Amanda's arrested, charged with second-degree murder and tampering with evidence. Her sister Emily, cleared of any involvement, starts a fund for domestic violence survivors, turning Tyler's flawed memory into something meaningful. The Starlight Motel becomes a tabloid legend, its neon sign a grim reminder of that night. Headlines scream, "Trunk of Terror" and "Texas Midnight Murder Run," feeding the public's hunger for scandal. This story, inspired by real tales of betrayal and desperation but woven with fiction to protect the innocent, is a warning. Love can turn lethal when pushed to the edge. What would you do? Flee 300 miles with a secret like that? Or face the truth? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if this story gripped you, smash that like button, subscribe, and share with your friends. More confessions are coming to keep you on edge.